shirt on, and she has a I Hate Greg Ayres onesie on, so it's pretty funny. And she even spelled my name wrong. It's Ayres. So here's the myth. Everybody knows babies creep me out and they freak me out, but when they're 2, I think there's nothing funnier on this earth. When babies turn into a wrecking ball, I think that's when I will babysit your kids. Like, I don't hate children, just when they're, oh, I know, that's why you think I've been so nice. She's right at the fun age now. This is when you have to watch the door to the refrigerator and keep the eggs at the back of the refrigerator. I was the egg baby. I was the one always like walking around the house with 2 eggs in my hand. So, yeah, I don't hate kids. They just little squishy, poopy babies freak me out. Like, some people are afraid of clowns. I'm afraid of babies. Somebody just recently brought me a picture, like a sonogram. The new sonogram pictures are spooky. You can see, like, it looks like someone stuck a camera in your belly. And, like, it looks like an alien. It's so freaky. So, on to something fun, yes. Well, the funny thing is, I think a lot of people think, because I was a fan and I'm a voice actor now, that I had never done theater or performing work. I've been doing acting professionally since I was 7 years old. So auditions for me are just like taking a shower, you know. And even the part where you don't get the role. One of the things, I meet people all the time that want to be actors or actresses, and they'll go out for a role and then they just throw a fit. There's a girl that used to work at ADB that would call our scheduler and just cry if she didn't get in a show. That is part of being an actor. Part of being an actor is trusting the director to put you where you belong. There are some people that will not work a lot in anime because they have a ginormous, loud, big, barrely voice. And those characters are few and far between. Some people are lucky and they have this little voice that's given them problems their whole life. And finally, you know, like all those, yes ma'am, can I take your order at the drive-thru, pay off because I play all the little kids in shows now. But auditions are something that are very strange because you have to take them seriously, but you also have to have a sense of humor about all of them. People always go like, how do you think you did? I auditioned. You know, I don't, speaking as the egg baby, I don't put all my eggs in one refrigerator or whatever. I enjoy the audition process, and then if I don't get the role, then I wasn't right for it. That being said, in theater and film and the anime world itself, there are unfair casting processes too, where you know you won't get a role because a certain director casts their friends in the leads or whatever, and you have to know that's going to happen too, and that's okay. Because ultimately a director that puts the wrong person in the role is just shooting themselves in the foot. It means they're going to have a crappy product when it's all over. So yeah, it's just all part of the game. It's why I took a break from theater for a while. Like, and I may take a break from this at some point. I think the industry might force us to anyway, because the industry's in pretty bad shape at this point. But being a performer of any type, you're gonna deal with acceptance and rejection, and it's just all a part of the game. It's like being a musician or anything else. It's luck really sometimes. So, but auditions are, I don't know. It's a hard question to answer. My first audition was when I was like 7 or 8 years old, so I can't really remember it that well. My first stage audition, all I did was flips. I was a gymnast, and my brother was auditioning for a musical. And the director had snuck outside to smoke a cigarette, and he saw me flipping in the parking lot, and he went down and asked my folks, you know, hey, when is he gonna come in and audition? And they're like, no, that's just what he does. His brother's in there. And they were like, well, we need somebody we need an acrobat in this show. And so I went in, and that's all I did. I just ran back and forth and did little aerials and handsprings, and then I was in this show. And as a little kid, I think of being 7 years old and just retarded as all get out. Suddenly I'm wearing these fancy costumes and people painting my eyes to look like I'm the king's son or whatever, and you know, being on stage, it's really neat. But as I kind of grew up in theater, so auditions are, like I said, something like taking a shower now. The best thing if you're a theater person and you want to get good at auditions. Ladies and gentlemen, she's left the building. I don't know who she is. I thought it was Laura Bailey. I was going to give her a hard time if it was Laura. But if you're in theater and you want to do something that will help you tremendously in auditions, read out loud. Because the most difficult part of any audition is what we call a cold reading. And that's all we do in anime. Every show I work on, I don't ever see the script before I get there. I am looking at the words for the first time when I go in to record. So if you're not quick on your feet, reading-wise, and you are not quick at reading and interpreting and emoting from that, you're gonna have a little bit of a hard time. And that's for any kind of actor, because most theater, you're gonna have to do cold readings. And it's something, believe it or not, that as a theater person, I hate it. I'm like, ugh, I don't want to read for this scene. But it really is the best advice I can give someone in theater or somebody wanting to go into voiceover work is read out loud as much as you can. And there are ways to make that fun, like take the worst newspaper advertisement and pitch it like, you know, a housewife or like a British school teacher. Or, you know, there's ways to practice just looking at something and going with it on the spot. Read it in a character voice, you know. But yeah, that's probably my best advice to somebody auditioning. Yeah.
Among all the characters that you played, who's your favorite troubled one, like Satoshi or Kosuke?
Troubled character. It's tough. There's two of them actually. Sujito in Speedgrapher, I don't think is necessarily a bad guy, but he finds himself, you don't find this out till the end of the show, but he found himself in a really unfortunate situation, and it just so happened that a villain was who saved him. And so I don't think Sujito would have probably been the person he ends up had it not been for the fact of his history, and the person that saved him was ultra evil. And I think he has an undying loyalty to that person. And the other, I think, is Kaoru Nagisa. He's the messiah figure of Evangelion. I don't think anybody would choose to die if they were given the chance, but Kaoru has a real weird fate that's been planned from the beginning, and he doesn't have any choice in the matter, nor does he have any intentions on stopping it. But it's still a pretty sad ending, no matter what. But and then the most surprisingly tortured soul, I think, is Tsuyoshi from Kodacha. I don't think anybody saw the abuse thing coming until it happens in that show. But the neat thing about Kodacha is it looks like a little kid's show, and it's very much not a kid's story. Or it's a kid's story, but it's some pretty adult stuff they deal with in that show. And Laura Bailey is hysterical as Sana, period. But yeah, those are the two, and Tsuyoshi is the surprising third, I guess. Yeah.